right, welcome into another edition of Keeping Up with Spring Garden Athletics. We're here with Coach Hatch, and Coach, you guys are clicking at a really good level right now. I mean, you guys are area champions, you guys are undefeated regular season, remain undefeated. You'll know who your sub-regional opponent is here very soon. You're going to go ahead and prepare for both.
Yes, sir.
Just take us back to the area championship game and just a little bit of a look back on these guys and what they've accomplished at this point. I know you're the first one that told me earlier this season they don't give out trophies halfway through the season, but they have had a remarkable season.
They have. We, I was walking around after the game on Saturday and then walking around yesterday, and I had a bunch of, hey, smile, and I'm like, well, I'll smile after tonight. So it's more for us, sometimes when you have a successful year or a successful stretch, sometimes it's easy to kind of get lost in the moment, to go through the motions. And so we've really preached this year, and having a bunch of seniors, it's really helped, but really preaching on not losing your focus, not losing, sight of where you want to be at the end of the year. And so when we've talked and stuff, we've always talked this whole year about here's where we want to get to, but what are the necessary steps to get there? And so we always try to set a goal, reach that goal, and then we reset and calibrate and be ready for the next goal. So last night was a big goal for us to accomplish, to be able to host sub-region. We know that whoever we cross with is going to be very difficult. Should be a good game. And, we feel confident in terms of if we had to travel, we've got some guys who are experienced who I think would be able to answer that challenge, but we also knew that playing at home is a lot more enjoyable, and that's kind of where our goal was at the time, was to make sure that we did the things necessary for that. So we talked about having a quick start. I think we started out on a 13-0 run to start the game. First quarter looked really well. Second quarter, we kind of let our foot off the gas a little bit. Went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and then came out and played well the second half. I thought I looked at him about midway through the third quarter, and I was like, I need you to get your motor going. Like, you are going to have to be the guy right now to kind of guide this ship where we want to go. And I felt like he stepped up, really controlled the interior, drew a lot of attention, kept a lot of possessions alive, and he's just the catalyst for last night's.
He's been a rock for a long time around here. He and his brother both are really good players in every sport, honestly, but basketball for sure is one that they are really, really good at. Coach, win, lose, or draw, this next game will be the last game here at Spring Garden. Talk about that a little bit, and how special it would be to try to send these guys out a winner here at home in their last game.
It would be. Nobody wants to lose their last game, and we understand that typically you have one team in your classification that can go out on a win, but when you talk about playing at home your last game, you want them to go out being successful. Now, we know it's going to be an emotional type game in terms of that, and we expect big crowd. We expect a tough opponent, and so we know Saturday is going to be a special moment for these guys, and we talk about living in the moment to value each one of those opportunities, because you don't know how many you're going to be given in your life. And so for these guys, knowing that this will be their last game, I expect them to be able to perform to the best of their abilities, and they don't want that to be their last game in their career, so they're going to come out and give everything that they got.
Coach, when you get to watch teams play, like if you get to go watch scout a little bit, what are the things from a coaching standpoint you like to look at a game? Like if a young coach that may be watching this is like, hey man, obviously he's doing something good there. I mean, he's got those guys rolling. What are some tidbits you could tell a coach when you go to watch other teams play that you may be playing?
Well, we typically, and things I like to look for, I like to look at player tendencies. What are some strengths that players have? What are some things that they look uncomfortable doing? So that would be the individual pieces. As far as team pieces go, you look at what kind of base offenses and defenses they run. You look at some of their sets that they run. If I'm watching film, I'll document time stamps so that I can go back. We'll document, if the ball gets into this side of the court, on the left side of the court, are they more likely to shoot and drive, or if it goes to the right side? And so we just try to look for little pieces that might help give us an advantage going forward. And typically it's not just watching one film, because you can't get a true picture good teams will be able to adapt based on who they're playing. So if you know one team is a little bit weaker in one area, you want to try to exploit that. In the next game, it might be a different area that you try to exploit. So we try to make sure we watch enough game film to find tendencies that are common throughout. And so I love to study film.
Something that keeps rearing its head
right,
over and
yes.
over and over.
And I like to show our guys a lot of those things too, because just like if you're in the classroom or anything else, if kids have an example to go by or know what's coming, then it's a lot easier for them to adapt and to be prepared for those moments.
Coach, next question is when you're battling, well, I don't even know if you battle it here because your guys are so in tune to this community and used to things that's similar to this, but you hear a lot of coaches throughout a season that we're undefeated, man, there's pressure building. But you literally, you say it, but it ain't just coaches speak. Y'all are literally a one game at a time unit. Like everything else is erased. You're almost close to 30-0 right now. How do you do that in modern time? And the reason I ask that because everybody's got a phone and everybody hears what the public says and they read the newspapers and stuff. How do you handle that?
It's not something that you can build overnight. It's not something that I built. I was just able to help carry it a little bit farther. When you have, we talk about culture almost every time that we get together. And so I think that a lot of the times our guys have not bought into that hype. And this goes all the way back years and years and years previous to now. And I think that our guys understand that if they're going to be successful, then they can't live with what other people say, with what other people think, with what other people's expectations are.
That's awesome.
We hold ourselves to a high expectation. That goes with taking a big goal and breaking it down into smaller goals. That takes kids who are hungry to win. To me, kids who want to win versus kids who, that's all they know is two different things. If you want to win, you want to win when the crowd's there. When you have kids like we do, they want to put in the work and win when nobody's around. And I think that that's big for our guys they understand what the end goal is and what it's going to take to get there. And, you can't just live in the hype. I think that'll distract you. And we talk about, and I always talk about all the time putting blinders on to block out white noise, things that we can't control. We may have an undefeated record, but, the teams that we're playing from now on have an undefeated record in the playoffs as well. So we know that every game is a one-game season.
You want them to win the weight room battle today. Battles like that.
Absolutely. You win every, in a game, you don't win one game, you try to win a quarter or you win a possession at a time. And same thing with a long season like basketball. Yeah, you want to win a championship, but you got to win the little battles that lead up to that championship.
That definitely makes sense. Coach, just final thoughts before I get you out of here. I know you got to get back to work and I got to get back to work, but go ahead.
We look forward to challenges. We look forward to seeing what comes from our hard work. Saturday is going to be a challenge. It's a challenge that our guys are looking forward to be able to compare ourselves against one of the better teams in the state. We know that if we come out successful, then that win will feel great because it wasn't given. It will have to be earned. And we expect whatever team comes in on Saturday to put up a fight because they are two good teams. And so we're just excited for the opportunity because you're not always given opportunities to go against some of the top teams in the state. So we're going to enjoy it. We're going to live in the moment, and then we'll deal with the outcome when that comes.
Coach, I appreciate you, man. It's been an honor. I like the little tidbits because you'd be surprised how many people watch y'all's show. There's a lot, and I actually have coaches talk to me all the time that say they picked up something they heard from you or heard from Rad or something, which I think is cool.
That's awesome.
Little tidbits.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much, Coach.
I appreciate it. Thank you.